Hey everybody, welcome to the Token Nerd Podcast, where we ramble on about geeky things ranging from Batman to pop figures to Star Wars.
Move along.
No, you idiot. You were supposed to take it from him.
Oh, we were still doing that? I thought
This kind of worked, though.
But I like the idea of it and then going back. That was kind of cool.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Okay, start over.
Everybody, welcome to the Token Nerd Podcast, where we ramble on about geeky things ranging from Batman to pop figures to Star Wars. Yeah. Omakakishka no Token Nerd Star Wars.
I'm Travis Lyinks.
Move along.
You're such an idiot. We were going to roll with it. I couldn't Oh man! All right, let's. Komakakishka no Token Nerd Star Wars Day.
I'm Travis Lyinks.
And I'm Addison Lee.
Komakakishka no Token Nerd Star Wars Day. I'm Anthony Pettiford.
It's a trap.
And I'm Addison Lee.
I hate both of you so much. Damn it! Okay, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to the Token Nerd Podcast.
Nope. What is he doing?
I can't. Hey everybody, welcome to Token Nerd Podcast.
Do the Jabba the Hutt thing. We'll be good.
Komakakishka no Token Nerd de Star Wars Day. I'm Anthony Pettiford.
And I'm Travis Lyinks.
And I'm Addison Lee.
And we're here for episode 16, Star Wars Day. Happy May the 4th, guys.
May the 4th be with you.
And also with you.
I'm taking this off.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Wait, he's not a stormtrooper. He's a Finn.
I was going to say, you're way too dark to be a stormtrooper, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, well, we got some nifty news this week. Like we said before, it's Star Wars Day.
It is.
It's the first podcast of May.
Yes.
Yeah, we made it into the 5th month.
5th month.
All right. Well, let's just get started with some quick news. Granted, we do have Star Wars news down the line, but we'll start with Ghostbuster news, actually. So, you guys are familiar with the latest Ghostbuster trailer?
Yeah, it's really not very good.
Yeah. Well, just to let you guys know, here's a little fun tidbit that it is the most disliked video on YouTube that is a non-music video.
Yeah.
It is currently at 600,000 dislikes.
That's a lot of dislike.
Yeah, and only 30 million views. It was released in
a while ago, right?
yeah, like a month, I think.
At least a month ago, yeah. So that's a pretty good reaction. But again, it's not because it's girls. It's because it's a bad trailer.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a bad trailer.
Even not Jesse McCarthy. Good God, Melissa McCarthy said that it was a confusing trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Not that she's saying that it's terrible. She just doesn't.
It's a bad cut, and like it's before they've actually done any kind of like testing, I would assume, because the jokes weren't even that funny. Why do they acknowledge the past when it's a reboot? There's a new team. Like,
It's not just that. I'm not a fan of that humor.
yeah,
It's like it's what Bridesmaids was, but Bridesmaids was like it was first of its kind, so
Yeah.
it was really funny. But I'm just not a fan of that humor, and apparently
Nobody else is
600,000
either.
people are also the same way. But I do want to point out that people were posting. Like there was one post on there that someone said, "Hey, we're at like 100,000 dislikes. Let's work for 6 or 5 million or 5,000." Like people were trying to give it ad reviews. So
Yeah.
it's not like everyone hated it. A lot of people did though.
Yeah.
This has become a phenomenon where it was cool for trolls to get on here and dislike and hate.
I wouldn't say that I don't hate the trailer. It's just a bad trailer. It's like I don't hate it, but
I mean, I'm about to say that when it comes out, I'm not going to see it opening day. Like, we have
I don't even know if
Civil
I'll see
War's
it.
coming out in less than 80 hours.
I'm
in
there.
line.
I already got my ticket.
What is less than 80 hours?
Oh, okay.
What do you think I said?
Well, it's just weird that you used 80 hours. You could have said like less than a day.
Yeah, because it's technically tomorrow.
Anyway, so we're going to move on. Just let you guys know that little tidbit news about Ghostbusters. Moving on to, like we mentioned, Civil War, which is done by the Russo brothers. Excuse me. It turns out that the Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2 will not be the names of the movie. Well, that's a lie. from what I've read. Sorry.
That's a lie.
No, but what
We
I mean,
report on lies here on Token Nerd.
we do. It's actually the Token Mill. But no, so apparently the first film is going to be renamed, and the last one will be Infinity War. So Infinity War Part 1 will actually have a different name.
World War Hulk.
See, I was thinking like Thanos Rising.
Ooh, that'd be good. I like that one. Hulk versus Thanos.
Well, it's because the part 1 and part 2 was confusing because when you think of the part 1 and part 2 in movies,
Twilight.
You think of the
Hunger Games.
the YA
Harry
Harry
novels,
Potter.
the YA novels, and it didn't make any sense because at the time, in between between the two movies, it was Captain Marvel and Inhumans, but now we know Inhumans isn't
Happening. Yep.
Yeah, it's not part of the timeline anymore, so it makes sense that
Boot.
yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to add like 3 more movies in there, one of which being World War Hulk. If I just keep saying it, it'll come true.
I mean, it has to, right? But no, so, I mean, this isn't big news. It's just recently come out. So we can expect that the third movie, or the first of the Infinity movies, will have a different title name. I thought it wasn't going to be an Avengers movie. It was going to be Infinity, or Marvel's Infinity War, not an Avengers movie, because the Avenger movie would be actually about the Avengers, where this is a Marvel Universe event.
Yeah. I think it's just they kind of pulled you in on 2 Avengers movies, and for the layman, that's like, oh, this is the third Avengers, like it's going to be something like that. They don't want to throw. I mean, they can kind of do whatever they want, but they still got to think of those people that aren't really comic book people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and then that's pretty much all we have for that news.
It makes a nice box set too, by the way.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
an Avengers box set with 37 million DVDs and Blu-ray discs inside, and we'll give you 500 hours of bonus footage because there's 17,000.
Just like
movies.
Batman v Superman. Here's another 64 hours of deleted footage that might possibly make this movie make sense.
Nope, doesn't at all.
But just to throw this out there, since we're talking about the Avengers, on this week we will have the
Review.
a review, but we'll also have a pre and post review. We're gonna have one where Travis and I and Addison will talk about what we expect from the movie, and then we'll have a video afterwards to see if our predictions paid off, or maybe everyone's lying. Maybe this is the worst movie we've ever seen in our lives.
It could be.
It really could be.
It really could be worse than Batman versus Superman.
You know what? I don't think we're gonna lie. It's probably not. Nothing's gonna be as bad as that.
So far, it still holds like a 97 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that's nothing. Batman versus Superman probably held a 97 for a minute.
Yeah.
No.
I just want to point out
No,
there is no
it-
Batman poster behind us anymore.
No,
gave up.
it started out
I
low.
know, it started out low.
All right. Well, let's move on to some TV new, guys. TV
TV
news. This isn't even really news. All news was going to happen.
I just want to point out that
We're just going to ignore this comment.
a few
because I don't care.
episodes back, probably like if you went back to like episode 7, 8, somewhere in there, I called this and I was told that I didn't know what I was talking about on this podcast.
Anyway, The Punisher is getting a TV show on Netflix. Someone called it. I believe one of our viewers emailed us and told us that at one point. Anyway, it has been announced and it's official that The Punisher will be getting its own Netflix ongoing series spinoff, piggybacking off of Daredevil Season 2, featuring John Bernthal as Frank Castle, the Punisher.
AKA the best Punisher.
Yeah. This will be done by writer and exclusive producer Steve Lightfoot. He will serve as the showrunner. This will be the 6th series ordered so far. This will include, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Defenders, and then now
So
Punisher. So this could actually open the door. So here's my question for you guys, because there's not a lot for us to report on this because it's just been announced. But my question is, do you think that we're going to stay in Hell's Kitchen, or this will be the expansion from... We had our Hell's Kitchen heroes, and this next branch will be the Knights.
Yeah.
So we could have Punisher, Blade,
Moon
the
Knight.
darker.
Yeah,
even
Punisher can really go anywhere, so I can see them kind of leaving Hell's Kitchen. But and since Punisher doesn't really have a reoccurring villain that much, except isn't Jigsaw the only one that's like
Jigsaw. But I kind of like, and I usually argue about this because I hate in movies how we kill off our villains.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited for. I want them to be like scumlords. I don't want supervillains or even big known villains in Punisher.
The only other one is Wilson Fisk, right?
I do.
He shows up a lot. So I mean,
almost
that's
rather.
That's a pretty easy one. They kind of already set that up.
Yeah.
So but it doesn't have to be him in every episode.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I almost want Fisk to leave Daredevil for a little bit and to face off with the Punisher.
A cool thing they could do with this is that they could actually do like some episodes are affecting the overarching story. Some episodes are the overarching story is in the background, but he just has to go like not monster of the week, but like bad guy of the week. You know?
Yeah.
That would be a kind of a cool way to do
it. Would be
Punisher.
I'm just excited to kind of see. It's hard to explain. Like maybe like we did in this first one, there's like a gang or something he's going to take down, but I really want to see him just because I didn't before. I still think that Punisher is not a hero. He's not really a vigilante. He's a terrorist.
Yes,
but I really do want to see him kind of maneuver in and out of the effects of the Marvel universe. I do want to see him run into Inhumans at some point and deal with that. Yes, he could be in New York and he can face humans and the scumbags, but I also want it to be, hey, we're still in this world. Like I still think it's weird that Daredevil is not going to see Inhumans. But like the one thing that sold me, because I wasn't for Punisher, but there was the first scene that you see Punisher, and he goes to the pawn shop and he buys the shells and he buys the shotgun, and the guy as he's walking away says, "Hey, are you into little kids?" He says, "I have some stuff for you," and then tries to hand him off like a DVD of a 12-year-old or something.
VHS.
Yeah.
A VHS.
Ooh, VHS.
And he stops and he goes, loads the gun.
No, he
locks the door.
Locks the door and grabs a baseball bat and bashes him in the head.
Yeah.
We assume. And for me, I'm lukewarm on it, to be honest. There are certain characters, especially in the Marvel universe, that I find are better side characters, like, Hawkeye, Black Widow, so on and so forth. And a part of me feels like Punisher kind of falls into that category. I feel like he's more of a filter for other heroes. Like he was a filter for Daredevil. He could be a filter for Spider-Man. So him in his own series, it's just.
I think what it does is, though, it gives them the ability to introduce other characters. Because Punisher's interacted with so many characters throughout the Marvel universe that there's plenty of characters that have not been represented in movies or TV, or some have and maybe not done so well. They can easily bring those guys into it or gals into it now. And even with villains, like they can bring other villains into the story that haven't been used. I think they can do a lot with this. I really do.
I like the idea of Punisher being a character that just goes into other superhero stories and just like, hey, you should kill this person.
And that's what he's done.
And just constantly having that moral conversation with every single hero he meets.
And that's what Marvel's kind of used him for in the past. I also hear that the new Punisher comic, the #1 that's came out or is coming out.
It came out today.
Yeah, I hear it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So I haven't checked it out myself, but maybe they're really trying to like revamp the character now that he has a new presence on.
Oh yeah,
Netflix.
of course.
You know what's interesting though is recently Black Panther. That first issue was really good, and Punisher's supposed to be really good, and Daredevil's new one's supposed to be really good.
Maybe Marvel's trying again.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we're not just going to do events. Maybe we're going to make an actual story.
And
Scott Snyder.
Let's ruin the whole continuity by putting Wolverine in everything and killing him in some stories, but leaving him alive.
Or having him kill himself, or having a freaking event called Age of Ultron.
We really like that story.
I really do want to go through all our videos and see how many times we've mentioned that stupid crossover event. We probably do it once an episode. But so that's an exciting time. But since we mentioned Marvel Comics, guys.
Free comic book day this weekend.
Yeah. Free comic book day.
On the 7th.
We actually might have I doubt that we'll be down in a store on Saturday, but we will have an after show where we kind of talk about what was going on. We'll have a little bit of video.
Yeah, we might go.
Maybe. We will talk about the comics that came out.
Yeah, we can video it and pick up some, We probably won't talk at the store unless they pay us, but
oh, they're not going to pay us.
We can try. We can try.
But in comic book news, we have a little teaser image came up for Civil War 2. There were tie-in stories for Civil War 2 The Fallen, issue #1, and Civil War 2 The Accused. Both are coming out in August. It's kind of...
That event's so far away, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's funny, the more and more... Like, we were even watching... what we were trying to do our road to Civil War, and we've been watching a bunch of Marvel movies. So we watched Captain America: Winter Soldier, and the idea of Civil War, or not Civil War, but Winter Soldier is
Civil War number 2.
Civil War number 2 is Winter Soldier. Like the idea that hey, there's not an Inhuman that can see the future or an Incog.
But we have a way of telling who's going to be evil in their future.
Yeah, well, technically they were going to wipe off anyone who'd been a threat, but yeah, it's the idea that before Hydra stepped in, it was the idea of killing people before they committed a crime. And I'm actually very interested. I know we talked about how stupid the idea of Civil War II was, but the more and more I've read about it, the more I'm like, this is actually kind of cool. Like, this is how you define, are you a hero based on, hey, we can prevent a crime, or we have to wait for the crime to happen? And sadly, based on my morals, is I feel like the crime has to happen before you get punished for it.
I think we all kind of turned, after we went to C2E2 and we saw the announcement and the story behind it, I think we all kind of turned a little bit. And some of the teaser videos and things they've released since then, they do look interesting. So, I mean, it is, I think it's worth a read so far. I mean, I may be eating my words come August-ish.
And it's also interesting putting Captain Marvel in the new Iron Man role.
Yeah,
because I assume that she's the one who's for using the mutant to find future criminals.
Yeah,
and Iron Man is now in the role of Captain America, who is against that. The idea of a controlled system.
Yeah. I could see that for sure.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for it. So look out on Saturday at Free Comic Book Day. There will be the Civil War II prologue.
Civil War II prologue. So we need to get that. Maybe we can make our determination off of that.
Yeah, we will, and we'll definitely have a video about it. So keep an eye out for that on Saturday. But moving on, we've got some toy news as always. Before we jump into the deep stuff, we actually have the Legions of Collectors, which we first got our Iron Batman suit.
Yep.
Or Iron Batman suit, Iron Batman Funko Pop. And then we know that we have the it's the TV CW, like the Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl.
And it looks like
boxes
it looks like it's Earth 2 Flash as well.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. We're not sure, folks. There's just been a teaser out there. I just want to say that because people get really serious about this.
Yeah.
People in the Funko world.
Well, that's what it looks like to me, fans. I'm not in the Funko world, but that's what it looks like.
But it's
probably a Dorb.
You know what? And the sad part is I'm getting really into Dorbs. Anyway, but the Funko release theme will be, the theme for July will be Suicide Squad. So
the image looked cool. I like the colors.
The image looks cool, but so my question for you guys is,
how many people cancel the box?
No, I don't think anyone's canceling the box. I think this box it's only been one, but it's been pretty strong.
Yeah.
The thing I want from the subscription boxes is for them to go back to what they were in the beginning with the Marvel Collector Corps. Like it was Hulkbuster. There was no Hulkbuster. Then we had Ant-Man without the helmet, but we also got Little Ant-Man.
You got
and then
Miles too, right?
Yeah, Miles. That was the big one. We had two.
Miles and female Thor.
Yeah, and Lady Thor.
And neither one of those had been released before.
No,
right?
and nothing like it. And so
maybe we'll get like a giant Killer Croc.
See, that'd be cool, but
honestly, I think it's going to be Harley Quinn and Deadshot, or Joker. I think it's going to be between those three.
Both of those have been, they're already lined up to come
They're already
out.
in the normal line of figures.
But with that being said, so was the Iron Batman. The Iron Batman was on the box.
They just painted him different, right?
No, he didn't even come out in stores. You could only get him from the box.
But it seems like there's going to be like multiple costumes with the Joker, like the one where he's wearing the red,
one where he's in
the tuxedo, and just so many different versions. So you might get.
But I want less of a variant of a figure that's already made.
He wants something totally different.
Yeah, I want something new. It's just like when we were reading for spoiler for the recent Collector Corps box. It was Iron Man and Cap. It was them fighting each other, which is cool.
Yep.
Until they mentioned what they were going to do was give us the Captain America Falcon, and then we had a post video which I didn't post because it just took too much out of me. But I was yelling at the camera like, I don't want this anymore. I want Captain America Falcon.
Yep. Because I'm still hoping that was a spoiler.
Yeah. But no. So I'm really looking forward to that box. I'm looking forward to this box. We should have one coming in the next week. So by next week we should have this second Legion of Collector Corps box.
And I'll be playing with the Flash guy.
But speaking of pop figures, we're going to move on to Star Wars
Nothing but Star Wars. Nothing but Star Wars.
Na 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 na.
Da-da.
All right, but anyway, so we have the Funko Third Wave. Funko celebrating Star Wars Day by announcing their full line for their next wave of The Force Awakens. That's coming out in July. Here's a list of the figures that are going to come out. We all have General Leia, which actually looks really cool. I've not been we're going to call her Mature Leia. But I've not been into that figure. She looks kind of boring. But we have Old Man Luke.
You know why? Because she's a girl. If you've been on other podcasts, that's a rather funny joke.
Yeah, we're apparently very sexist.
Yeah.
And racist.
So.
And ageist.
Even though I absolutely love Leia and always have and always will.
And I'm mixed, he's mixed, and he's white, so. All right, but anyway, so we'll have Old Man Luke Skywalker, Maz Kanata, Me 809, General Hux, Galvin, Lightsaber Rey, which I'm excited for. We'll have Maskless Kylo Ren, FN 2198, or sorry, FN 2199, which the world has come to know as TR8R, Traitor. We'll also have Snap Wexley, which was the guy Matt from Heroes, who's a friend of J.J. Abrams, who was in. Yeah, I was so excited for that pop figure to come out. But that is the list of the Star Wars figures, or the Force Awakens figures that are going to come out.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can we talk about this group first? Which ones are you most excited about?
In this group,
Yeah. These are the general releases.
General release, I'm torn between Lightsaber Rey and Old Man Luke.
Same here.
I like Maz Kanata. And I have a question. Wasn't there already a maskless Kylo Ren that was leased at Walmart?
There was a Walmart exclusive, yes, where he had the scar on his face.
So that's the difference?
Yeah, that's the difference.
Wow, they're really getting to the nitty gritty down on these exclusives, aren't they?
But that's what's going to start to bug me, is that their exclusives are just adding paint jobs to some things. It's like it's not a different figure. I know it takes more.
The exclusives are a way for them to, release a figure that they spent money making a mold for, and then change the color of it so they can stretch the dollar.
Yeah.
Well, another issue with it is, now everything has to be canon. So it's not like you can do, for some reason, a pink Kylo Ren, because people are going to ask, like, wait, is that in the movie? Are we going to see a pink Kylo Ren? So it's one of those. I think it's just the issue with canon, and like when there's a superhero movie, especially with Batman, there's always like these weird Batman costumes that come out, and it's like,
it's like because Batman's what sells.
Yeah, it's like that's not in the movie. Why does it say Dark Knight Rises, but it's Snow Batman?
Yeah.
So
No, I get the canon. I'm just saying, like, it's the same pose.
Yeah,
but
all they changed was it doesn't have a scar on it. From what I've understood of it in this conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on, there will be a Target exclusive, and that's just going to be Maz Kanata, but instead of her goggles being over her face, they're going to be lifted up. And that's the one I actually kind of want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that looks cool. The GameStop exclusive was going to be, this is my number one figure in this new wave, but it's going to be Rey, but it's her when she's in her AT-AT and she's wearing the Rebel helmet.
AT-AT,
and she's holding the little like cornhusk doll of a Rebel pilot. So I'm actually really excited about that. We have the Hot Topic exclusive, which will be Poe Dameron.
Okay, what's different about Poe?
It's just him and his it's him and his.
He doesn't have the helmet on? Because I have the one with the helmet.
Yeah, there's one with him wearing the helmet and without. This is like in a jump, like a fly suit, not his.
Oh, okay,
gotcha.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah,
we're splitting hairs here.
It's the orange suit when they're talking about attacking the Star Killer base.
Then there is the Walgreens exclusive. Walgreens actually has some really good exclusives.
Yeah, didn't you get
They're just hard.
You got Black Suit Spider-Man and Venom.
Yeah, Black Suit Spider-Man, Venom, Spider-Man 2099, and then Punisher. They've also are trying to get you to get the Green Goblin. The Ultimate Spider-Man series is supposed to be there. There is
who would have ever thought that Walgreens would be the spot?
No, I literally go to mine constantly, and there's a sign that said like Iron Spider, and it's been sold out. Like it's been difficult to find it. Yeah. So I go there all the time and ask for it, and they're not helpful. But so the Walgreens, it will be the Rey in the Resistance costume. So the costume she's wearing at the very end of the series, and it's actually her holding out the lightsaber to.
Spoiler.
Yeah. to somebody. Then we'll have that's the end of the Force Awakens, and then we'll have three.
There's the FYE one you still have here. FYE Poe Dameron.
Oh, FYE Poe Dameron, yes, and that's just
That's
him
another
and his
Poe
resistant.
Dameron.
I made a mistake. So this might be the one where he's in the jumpsuit, and
Gotcha.
the Hot Topic exclusive is him wearing the jacket.
Either way, if you like Poe Dameron, walk from your Hot Topic down to your FYE and see if they got it.
I think with Poe Dameron, what they should do is cut all these other exclusives and just do one of those vehicle ones, and with him in the
That'd be
I
pretty
agree.
the X-wing. I think
agree.
Sweet.
because no one really cares about him in a jumpsuit except for some people who collect everything. So just put him in the X-wing, because I love the X-wing. I love the black and orange look to it. So I'd rather have that as a pop figure than him in a jumpsuit or in a jacket.
But then we also have there's 3 more Star Wars figures that are coming out that are not Force Awakens. We'll have Bespin Luke Skywalker, Indoor Luke Skywalker, and Dagobah Yoda. Very excited for the Dagobah Yoda because it actually has a little bit more detail, whereas the last Yoda we got was back when the pop figures were very standard. Like they all
the very square head.
very square, smooth. This one has texture to it. So
Okay. That'd be cool.
yeah, looking very much forward to those coming out in July.
Yeah, I'm actually very interested in the indoor Luke Skywalker, because I also would like to get a Leia indoor, but I feel like when they're both wearing the helmet, they kind of look the same.
Yeah.
I like the Han, indoor Han with the
Oh, yeah,
camo jacket. That'd be pretty
So
sweet.
here's my question.
But it
for
has
you
to be him
guys.
doing like a judo flipping a stormtrooper.
All right. So my question is, before we move on, with all of these mentioned, I know I'm the one who collects the Funko Pops, but which one would break you guys? Which one is the one that you guys would go out to get?
Probably lightsaber Rey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one is probably the coolest out of all these, because it's just there's nothing really different about all of these except for that we are getting, we're finally getting a Maz Kanata and a, General Leia. But I think that one is more of an action pose, as to everything else just being jacket, no jacket, with jacket, no jacket again, holding jacket. I don't know.
Dagobah Yoda would probably be the one to break me.
Yes.
I'm a big
that one
Yoda
too.
guy. Can't go wrong with a Yoda.
Yeah. As of right now, there's 6 female characters being added to this list. So
Yep. Girls don't play with toys, though.
Well, yeah, that's after Star Wars got, chewed out for not having more Rey toys out. So they're like, females everywhere.
Quite, let's attack possibly the most diverse movie franchise currently.
I'm just saying, if you're interested in this conversation we're having, check out one of our past episodes where we had Abby on. We talked about girl toys. So that is definitely something to look forward to. But let's move on. Travis, if you want to take on this last bit of toy news.
Okay, so we have some news that's about an Indiegogo that a person that friend of my site, and now friend of Token Nerd, hopefully, is currently got on Indiegogo, and it's called Cronus Magnus. So if any of you are fans of like the classic Japanese toys that were like the big, Shogun Warrior type robot monster type things,
like Ultraman.
yeah, there you go. There's a good example. This is something similar to that, made in like the kind of same vein, but it's an original character created by the company called Full Blown Inc. The artist's name is Eric Smith, and he's currently got it on Indiegogo, and it runs through the end of May. And the figure stands about 10.5 inches tall, and has 3 points of articulation, and the original colorway is glow in the dark. So all you glow in the dark fans, this
For
is it.
people who don't like to sleep.
Yeah, that's another reason to have it as well. But the figure itself is available in 2 colorways. One is the glow in the dark, which is the original, and then the second one is the Indiegogo exclusive, I believe, blue colorway, which is inspired by the classic Shogun Warriors, figures.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this figure is that it has a ton of like intricate decals, and like the sculpting on it, like the head is just like the skull like made into it. It's just a really cool looking figure. And actually continues a line of figures that he started last year or a couple of years ago, I believe now, with his Kickstarter campaign called Volkura.
Oh, damn, these are cool.
Yeah, see, look,
I'm just now
instant reaction.
I'm just now seeing these. These are really cool.
Yeah, so they're 10.5 inches tall too, so they're like really
huge.
They're pretty big figures as well. And it's currently on Indiegogo, and he's trying to get it funded. So like, if you can do anything, whether it's fund it, share about it, talk about it, get it out to anybody, your friends and family. This is a campaign where like any bit helps. Like you donate $5 and it'll help him get to his goal. I believe he needs about $22,000. I think that was the goal.
Okay.
So he's got a ways to go, but it's just an awesome figure that I would love to see made. So if you can do anything to help this, I highly suggest you do it. So whether it's pay money or share, everything helps.
Yeah, we'll add a link down below to his Indiegogo, so anyone listening to this can go check that out.
Yep.
If you're on our watching us on YouTube, not from Sound
Podbean, iTunes, or any other entity where you want to listen to us.
All right. But that makes sense for his the tagline: every hero or every heroic robot needs a nemesis.
Yeah.
And
So
nemesis is Cronus
Volcura
Magnus.
is the hero, and Cronus Magnus is the nemesis.
Oh,
So this is continuing the line of figures he already created. So
groovy.
and he's kind of like branching out into like he's like got little stories that go along with him now and stuff too. So
Okay.
it's pretty cool. There's like embroidered patches. There's all kinds of levels of things you can get on this original artwork from artist, one of which is Daryl Banks. You guys may know who
really?
he is. Yes, one of the artists that's creating artwork for this is Daryl Banks. So there's a lot of really cool rewards that you can get behind. So
I didn't know that. That's really cool.
So
I'm a big Daryl Banks fan.
yeah. So
Um,
I just thought that would be a cool little tidbit that doesn't fit our normal talk, but hey, it's pretty cool. So,
yeah.
We want to help the smaller creators.
Yeah.
Just so like Hasbro and
He
all
doesn't sound
them
that
don't-
small to me if he's already gone through, one set already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty small. He's like me trying to make toys.
Speaking of which, when can we expect Luna's?
Okay, so if you guys follow Urban Vinyl Daily, which is the other site that I am on, we currently, in the last couple months, we had a Kickstarter that was funded, and exciting news happened today, which was the pin order has been shipped. So we had some enamel pins that were a stretch goal, and those pins have been produced, and they're on their way now currently from China. The other exciting news was that we finally finalized all the numbers with the factory. The prototype has arrived in China, and the initial deposit was made. So now the factory will start the tooling process, and hopefully in the next, 45 days, maybe 50 days, we'll have a test sample and some cool photos to share. So once that we get a little further, we'll put a little piece in the show and kind of share.
Movie.
So in 40 days, you're just going to disappear. You burn your fingerprints off and just run away with the money, right?
Nope, it's already been given to China. So, but no, it's pretty exciting. It's kind of nervous, kind of exciting all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yes, we're finally doing this. Holy crap, now it's real because
I'm excited for our first exclusive neuse.
Yeah,
It'll be right here on the table.
Yeah,
And it's going to be made in China, so it's going to be good quality.
Oh, alrighty then.
So I guess that's it for toy news this week.
And that's it for Toy News. And guess what, folks? We have a brand new addition to our news segment, and it is apparel news. Oh, Travis, take it away.
Okay, following a super successful release of Star Wars themed Vans last year, they have teamed up with another nerd entity, Nintendo. Do 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 do.
That's what I was actually gone with. If you both did better than I just went Bing. Okay, anyway.
Okay, so they currently have designed a whole line of Vans that are inspired by classic Nintendo lines, including Mario. I saw a Nintendo controller themed pair of shoes. I saw a Donkey Kong inspired one. And my personal least favorite of the line was the Duck Hunt. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
With the dog on the camo? That one's bad.
There's no Samus shoes?
I did not see any in the pictures
Metroid.
that I saw. I did not see those.
Well, I mean like Samus the character.
I know.
Yeah. But if you're a fan of Vans and you're a fan of like having nerd items on your clothing, this is a great one. I love some of the Star Wars ones were really cool. So it's cool to see them continuing on with other properties in the shoe world. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with them. The site that I saw looked like they were coming out, going to start appearing in June. Was the site I saw.
That seems to be like the big thing. So at the end of June and July are when we can get all of the stuff that we just talked about today.
Yeah, and plus the Vans are kind of like a good summer shoe, so it's kind of a good time to release them.
Yeah. All right. Well, since it's Star Wars Day, we're just going to close out with just some different thoughts and remarks. Basically, I'm going to ask you guys some questions, just to answer off the cuff. Out of the Star Wars universe, this is expanded and including the series, who is your overall favorite character that's not one of the big three? So, I mean, that will include, Luke, Han, Leia, not just the Vader, Who else should I say? I know I said big three, but I mean
So you're just taking out
like side characters who aren't
None of the big standard characters.
yeah that are in the main
B,
line.
the B category.
You could even, and I'll even throw in Boba Fett into the B category if you guys want.
Okay,
No, he is B character.
Yeah.
so
Who would you say your favorite character that isn't one of the main?
whoever the guy is in the Jabba's palace without a shirt on? I've always thought that was the most ridiculous character.
The guy who came out crying when
the
Rancor was killed.
He's like the guard of the Rancor or something.
The
like
Rancor
that.
keeper.
Yeah, I have that figure, and I've just always thought it was the most ridiculous toy. It was the most ridiculous character.
Yeah, because the first thing he doesn't even talk. He goes.
That's probably like out of the Star Wars universe of characters that are just kind of like in the movies that have no like. There's no connection to those characters.
Yeah.
But I think that one's hilarious. And I also love the guy that he's like paid by the Empire to follow Luke and Obi-Wan to Han Solo's to the Millennium Falcon when they're busting out.
Oh, the one with like the weird mosquito mouth.
Yeah.
That guy, that's a character that's just like, what the heck is this?
But you know,
he's like so awesome. They had a figure. I'm sure there's a figure.
Well, I'm telling you,
why don't I own it?
if New Hope came out today, there would be a pop figure for it.
There would
just
be.
like how we Galvin,
Yep.
we never saw him, but he's in the books now.
Yep.
But I don't have a shoot, I'm forgetting their names from Lost Stars.
Oh,
Ezra?
No, Kanan and
No, that's Kanan is.
Oh
From,
crap! No,
Ezra?
That's from Rebels 2.
Dang it.
This is embarrassing. It's my favorite book. It's because I kept saying if I had a daughter, I was going to name my daughter.
Ezra.
No, stop talking. Stop talking. It's driving me crazy.
I listened to this on tape too. Oh man, we're really bad at this. We should probably look this up on a thing called the internet. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. But,
well, that's what he's doing right now. We're just biding time.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
But you know what I'm trying to say is that I kind of want those characters to be.
Well, we don't know what they look like though.
I haven't.
So how do you make
images
a
in my
pop
head.
figure?
Images in my head.
Yeah, what if they ruin it like Harry Potter? No, I'm just kidding. They did a good job with this.
We just need to keep talking so people don't hear dead sounds.
Dead sounds,
Dead
huh?
space.
Well, you're not doing a very good job of helping me with this, so I will just continue to wax on about random characters that are in the story that are
You're
just
gonna
out
wax
there.
on.
Yeah, that's what,
Thane and Sienna.
Thank you, Sienna.
yes. When people just talk about nothing, it's called waxing.
I never heard that before.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Addison, what characters would you want to see? Or not see? What? I'm losing my mind. What would your favorite? Who are your favorite?
Mine
brand.
would have to be Kanan from the Rebels series. I think he's a very interesting character because he was the last Padawan, and for most of his adult life he was still a Padawan. So and then eventually, spoiler alert, he actually becomes a Jedi Knight throughout the series from Ghost Jedis. And I read the comic book that he was in. It goes into his backstory a little bit. So he's just a very interesting character, kind of like the first great Jedi in the new canon in a way.
Yeah. I'm torn on mine because mine is number one is Ahsoka Tano. Hated her. I mean, absolutely hated her.
Everyone hated her at first.
In the Clone Wars animated movie. And then the TV series, when she had her own like she had her own saga.
Story arc, yeah.
Story arc, yeah. And so, I was like, oh wow, like she even changed. Like she was the first person that actually used two lights, like double-handed lightsaber, but like she held them backwards.
Kind of like a Star Killer.
Like Star Killer
in the
did,
video
yeah.
games.
So I really liked her, and I even liked the fact that she came back in Rebels. And if you have not seen, I think it's Twilight of the Apprentice, which is the season finale of season 2. Twilight Apprentice. Watch that. It's if you're a crier, it's gonna get you.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it was really good. Did I make you watch the ending with me?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Dude, it's so good. So I'm torn between her and then Ezra Bridger, who if I was watching Star Wars linearly, so if I started with Phantom Menace and then I started watching Rebels before watching A New Hope, I would tell you that Ezra was the chosen one. Even watching Luke now, it's still hard to believe that Ezra wasn't the chosen one.
Well, he was just trying to get to Tachi Station to get power converters.
That's true. But the thing about Ezra is they're going on a different route to show that the dark side isn't always evil. Like it's the pure seduction of it. Like, in his mind, and it's just how they get all Sith, but it's saying, hey, to save your friends, the Jedi failed. Like the ones who won were the Sith. So the best way to protect people you care about is the dark side. Because it also goes on the idea that what's the dark side? It's not wisdom, but it's strength, it's fear, it's whatever guides you, and they're not all evil things. It's just the opposite, the shadow to the light that the Force is. But no, if you haven't had a chance to watch any of Rebels, watch it. It's all really, really good. Even Addison said Kanan, who's an amazing character. Hopefully we'll see some of those characters in Rogue One. I think we'll see Sabine at least.
Maybe the little whatever the astromech is.
Chop.
He could
Chopper.
show up. He could show up.
Yeah.
So one more debate here.
All right.
Favorite ship in the Star Wars universe. Go. That's not the Millennium Falcon.
No.
Because that's everybody's favorite ship.
I like the way Slave One looks.
Slave One is pretty sweet.
But I always liked the ships in Cloud City, the one with their two cars and they have like steering wheels.
Yeah, the guard.
Yeah.
You know, Family Guy made a joke. I was like, I'm driving. No, I'm driving. No, I'm driving. I thought those were kind of cool, but I think overall the X-wing is kind of the thing to go with. It's, the bad boy, especially Poe Dameron's.
Yeah, the black and orange, so cool.
Yeah. Let's see here. I always thought that the Queen Amidala's ship, from the one they travel from Naboo on to Coruscant.
Oh, the one's like silver,
the
shiny one.
That one's probably like one of the coolest looking ships in the whole thing. It's like so majestic
and camo, without actually having to use anything.
But as far as like other fighter type ships, probably the A-wing's always a pretty cool one. And whatever the ship was, I still don't know what it's called, but the ship that Obi-Wan and Anakin are flying at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, or when the two little ships with the droids in it, that you can clearly see like eventually turn into rebel like fighter. They kind of morph into fighters. I think it's kind of cool to see the evolution of some of that stuff. So I think that's a pretty cool ship throughout as well.
I think mine is not really much of a ship, but I'm going to say the Death Star. Just because
that's no moon.
Just because, like, if you read Lost Stars, they kind of talk about what it's like in the inside.
Yeah, and
it almost sounds like just a giant shopping mall. Because it's like,
yeah.
Hey, you could buy stuff here. There's a club. There's a bar.
I think it
has everything where you just think like, oh, it's just a base where space Nazis live and you can shoot planets. Like, no, this is where people actually live. So
I hope we get more of that in Rogue One too, because I think as they're building it, it'd be kind of cool to see the inside of it.
Yeah.
Well,
because like we only see like 5 hallways or something.
Yeah, we do. A friend of the show, Zane was telling me about, like, if you think about people on I hate blanking out, but like, so say you're in a star system and this Death Star comes through. The Death Star travels at light speed. We don't really think about that. So imagine looking from the sky and seeing a planet coming out of light speed.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So.
Alderaan.
Yeah, so
I can't want to say Bavin.
We will be continuing our excitement of May the 4th and Revenge of the 5th by going and seeing Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America was Civil War.
So go Disney. Way to have a holiday and release a movie on a holiday as well.
They're just always winning. But I just want to thank you all for joining us on this joyous
Episode 16.
Episode 16. May the 4th be with you.
Is that what we're calling it?
No, well, let's just call it Star Wars Day.
Okay, there
May
we go.
the 4th, Star Wars Day. Anyway, Travis, where can they find you on Twitter and the social medias?
You can always find Token Nerd throughout. You can always find us on Instagram, Token_Nerd, Twitter, Token_Nerd, Facebook, Token Nerd. Over on Podbean, podbean.com/Token Nerd Podcast, iTunes, you can search Token Nerd. On our YouTube channel, you can always like and subscribe our videos to make sure to keep up with our latest content, including reviews of movies, toys, unboxings. Basically, anything and everything there is to know about Token Nerd is on YouTube.
So, get our hands on, yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to keep up with our latest stuff, that's a great way to do it. You can also let us know what you think by leaving us a comment down in the section below in either iTunes or over Podbean or over on YouTube. Hopefully it's a good one. If not, we'll take that too.
Yeah.
But you can always, if you didn't want to be so public about your opinion, you can always send us a fan mail over to the token nerd podcast at gmail.com, and we'll read it on a future episode. So that's a great way to get yourself noticed on our podcast.
Yep. And Addison, where can we find you?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Casual Movie Fan. And thanks for having me.
You're becoming a regular.
You can always find me managing the Token Nerd social medias.
Yep.
Stay tuned to our Instagram. We're going to give away a subscription box. We have a token
Nerd giveaway.
Our first Token Nerd giveaway. We'll be giving away a Collector Core box for Civil War on Friday. So keep a lookout for that. We'll give you information on how to sign up for that. But as always, I'm Anthony.
I'm Travis.
And I'm Addison.
Stay spicy, my friends.